Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Monday's Ask the CMWorld community live stream. This is Amanda with the Content Marketing Institute. Thank you for joining us. Each time here on the live stream, we dive into a new topic with an awesome guest from our CMWorld community. And this live stream is brought to you by the Content Marketing Institute. If you don't know who we are the leading training and education organization for all things content marketing. You can learn more about us at contentmarketinginstitute.com. We have all kinds of great stuff there, the latest articles, some great online events, ebooks, research, and so much more. So please head over there and check that out. All right, so it's summertime here in the US. I know we have a large international audience joining us for the live stream, but here at CMI, we are gearing up for our big event, the largest content marketing event on the planet, Content Marketing World. That's where we get CMWorld here. It's coming up September 13th through the 16th in Cleveland, Ohio. So over the next few months leading up to the event, we will be interviewing some of our amazing speakers who will be at the event. So right now, after this live stream, not right now, you can head over to contentmarketingworld.com to learn more. And if you stick around, or you can see it there at the bottom, there's a little registration code you can use to save a little bit on the event. So we hope to see you there. All right, you guys know the drill if you've joined me before. As you join today, give me a virtual wave. I saw a few people already saying hello. Let me know where you are joining us from. I see Muna and Jeff. Thank you. Let us know where you're joining us from. So we're going to start off today. Let me pop this up here with a little icebreaker question. So what was the last conference that you attended, and what do you missed most about attending in-person conferences? I know I miss just the energy and like being around everyone. That's so hard to do when I'm sitting here in my house doing a live stream, except for today when I get to chat with some with you and our awesome guests. So let me know when's the last conference you attended and what you missed most about them. I would love to hear it. All right, so today's topic: every business creates content, but few know how to define the right KPIs or plan out the content that answers important customer questions or map that content to the buyer's journey, distribute to the right audiences, and get measurable business results. So today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the best ways to optimize your content marketing program for ROI. All right, thank you guys. I see you guys checking in. Rachel from Canada, Miguel from Toronto, Victoria, a lot of people from Canada today. Hello, everyone. Lori from Chicago, Ciao from Italy, Margarita, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. It's so awesome. All right, today's guest is a good friend of ours here at CMI. In fact, he's spoken at Content Marketing World for many years. Michael Brenner is a top content marketing influencer, an experienced CMO and digital marketer with stints at brands like SAP and Nielsen. Today, Michael runs a fast-growing content marketing agency, Marketing Insider Group, and maybe you've checked them out. He's also authored a couple of books called The Content Formula and Mean People Suck. So hello, Michael. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, Amanda, and hello to everyone all around the world.
Yes, we have such a great audience too. Brazil, Nigeria, Paris, awesome. Everybody. Great representation here. All right, Michael. What do you miss most about in-person conferences?
It's the people, for sure. I mean, I think it'll be my 11th. How many CMWorlds have there been? 12?
Yeah, I think, yes. We're on at 12.
I missed the first one and that's it. So yeah, so this will be my 11th. To the hashtag, it really is a community. And that's what I love most about, especially Content Marketing World, is just getting to meet my people and see the folks that I've, gotten to know over the years and meeting new people. That's why I really think that's why we go to in-person events. We want to learn, we want to meet new people and create connections that, last a lifetime. And that's what I miss the most.
Awesome. Well, you will be at Content Marketing World again. Mm-hmm. So let's get started here. You're going to be talking about optimization and ROI. So what mistakes are organizations making when it comes to optimizing their content marketing, and why do they need to change?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've answered this a few different ways and over the years, because it does take different forms. There's a spectrum, I think. of brands that fit along the promotion to emotion, let's say, spectrum. Every brand creates content that has to, explain the products and services they sell. The problem is that sales-driven organizations, product-driven organizations sometimes overly sell and overly promote. And it's not about not doing that stuff. It's just about making sure there's an appropriate mix of content that educates, that attracts, that reaches to new audiences to introduce them to your brand and to your products. And so the reason I started the agency that I run, it really is and was to solve that big problem that I saw as a corporate marketer, that I saw as a consultant. It's really thought leadership, educational, consistent content that earns the right to sell before you sort of push product and push price and all those kinds of things. So again, another way to say it is mapping content appropriately to the buyer journey or balanced to the buyer journey. A lot of companies, I think they think the buyer journey starts with they reached out to us, but the buyer journey starts long before that, before people even realize they have a problem. And so, that's the biggest mistake that I hope to help solve.
And you kind of talk about, the importance of, and I think we know this, building a business case, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard, but it's important. And, those executives, they want to see the ROI. So what are some of the best or the easiest ways to show the importance of our content marketing program?
Yeah, I'm gonna rely on my most tweeted tweet, which I know you've heard before, but it's behind every bad piece of content is an executive who asked for it. And so if you want to share that out, please do. But it's I think it's kind of funny, it's kind of ironic, but it's unfortunately true. The reason, I talk to content marketers all the time that are frustrated. And I think the reason they're frustrated is because they don't feel accountability or buy-in from the top to do the kind of content that they want to do. I mean, I think those of us in content marketing, we know what to do, but we're not allowed, or we're told to do different stuff, or we're told to do more of the wrong kind of stuff. And so building the business case is so important. It's I think it's the reason content marketers are frustrated. It's the reason a lot of content doesn't perform or does the opposite. It actually pushes people away from us. So I think building the business case is really important. But I also think the way to do it is super simple. And so in the content formula, it's the first chapter, and I always talk about it's reach, engage, convert, and retain buyers we would have never reached if we didn't create early stage educational content. If all you do is sell, all you're going to do is talk to people who already know who you are, and you're going to turn a lot of them away because they may not be ready for the sale. If you educate, if you inform, if you try to lead through thought-provoking, insightful, opinionated kind of content, you're going to attract more of the right kind of people. You're going to engage them with the right kind of content. You're going to start to form relationships that hopefully drive conversions and pipeline for sales and direct revenue. And then really interestingly, the forgotten child of marketing objectives, retention. What we've found with every company we've worked with is that clients and relationships and new sales that are formed and converted from content marketing, they stay longer, they spend more. And so you're retaining those clients over a longer period of time and for better return on investment. So reach, engage, convert, and retain buyers you would have never reached if you didn't do content marketing.
Great. If you're just joining us, we're talking to Michael Brenner of the Marketing Insider Group. If you have a question or comment, please feel free to drop it there. Janine says she's read your book and she absolutely loves it. And she's looking forward to seeing you at Content Marketing World again this year. And
Thanks so much,
excited
Janine.
about that.
Yeah.
All right. You also talk about, the importance of answering their questions, which, seems easy enough, right? But what a lot of people don't, like you said, answer the wrong questions. So what are some of the best ways to figure out like what questions to answer? What should we be looking at? Tools, how can that help us?
Yeah. I mean, it's, if anyone's familiar with that term or that line of thinking, at the very first CMWorld I went to, Marcus Sheridan, I think he spoke about 20 minutes over his allotted time as a keynote speaker, and Joe Polizzi was pulling him off the stage. But he wrote a book about that keynote, and it was They Ask, You Answer. And it's just such an amazing, it was as a newbie content marketer, it was so inspirational for me. The great thing about it, and this ties back to the business case, is in the digital world we live in, the questions your audience is asking is a knowable thing. And so you mentioned tools, Answer the Public, BuzzSumo, SEMrush or SEMrush, just looking at your own internal search on your website. all of those tools can help you identify the questions that people are asking. I like to think like a journalist. Journalists aren't experts in the topics they cover, but they go interview experts and they ask them who, what, when, where, why, and how. And so are you answering the who, what, when, where, why, and how questions that your audience is asking? My favorite one, when I was at SAP, we were launching a big data solution, software solution. And the content that we were pushing to publish was, what is big data? Who cares about big data? Why does your company need to think about managing or finding software to manage the big data inside your organization? Those are really simple, basic questions that product people, they think that the folks they're selling to are already beyond that. And yet the economic buyer, the CFO, he doesn't know what big data is, or cloud computing, or, AI and all these other sort of technical solutions that many of us sell. So we need to inform, we need to educate. Who, what, when, where, why, and how is a great way to do that. Answer the Public will tell you, just type a keyword into Answer the Public. It's free for English language, and it'll tell you all the who, what, when, where, why, and how questions that people are asking. It does it in a beautiful mind map way, and I love to say it's an editorial strategy on a page. We do some Google keyword research using SEMrush. You can use Ahrefs or Moz or some other tools like that. But we look for things like buyer intent related keywords, long tail keywords, competitive gaps. My own content strategy, I love looking at some other agencies like ours, and what do they rank for that we don't, and what content is resonating with those audiences on their websites, and we try to create a better version of it. So it's a knowable thing. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's a straightforward process to identify those questions.
I love how you say it's a knowable thing. Like, I heard you say that several times. It's knowable.
Yeah.
And I definitely, as a former journalist, love think like a journalist. And I always say, like, keep it simple. Like when you're writing news copy, it's like, keep it as simple. And people put so much whatever business speak into it. And I'm like, no, like, this doesn't make any sense. Like normal people don't talk like that. So
that's right.
All right. I love this question. Quality versus quantity debate. So many say quality is more important than quantity when it comes to content, but you believe something like slightly a little bit different.
This question has gotten me worked up every time it comes up, because it's a false choice. And so we don't have to choose. And the reason it makes me angry is because I think there are people that love to say, should we do quality or quantity? Because they know everyone's going to say quality first. Let's focus on quality. Let's not push more crap out. But the fact is, it's easy to say that, and it's easy for us to believe that, but the facts and the math tell a different story. So I'll come to that in 1 second. But before I do, I'm not saying that we should create more crap. What I always say, and Robert Rose supports this, and Andy Crestodina supports this, and Jay Akunzo and I have kind of riffed on this in the past before as well. We need to create more better content, or more quality content, not less good stuff or only really good long stuff. And so again, I'm not saying we should create bad things, but again, you ask a journalist, my favorite quote is Mark Twain, who said that inspiration comes from a deadline. His inspiration was driven by the fact that he had to publish an article every week for his publisher. He didn't seek out to write crappy stuff. He wanted to hit his deadline and create the best thing he could within the time he had. And that's what I think we have to do as content marketers. The math of it shows, and HubSpot data almost every other year comes out to support this, brands that publish on a frequent, consistent basis see 2 to 5 times more more traffic, 2 to 5 times more leads than the brands that publish infrequently or less frequently. And so that's why, as an agency, we offer, sort of like a subscription blog series of content, offers 1 or 2 articles a week, because we know that when you move from infrequent to once or twice a week, you get that 1 to 3x bump in traffic and leads. And then we measure that for our clients. And so the math is there. You need to create more better stuff, not, hey, let's just create less stuff, but make it really, really good and really deep. Unfortunately, the data proves that just doesn't work.
I love that. I love that on it. Like, I agree with you. The quality versus quantity. It's kind of like getting old and frustrating at this point to go back and forth. All right, another thing you talk about is the importance of creating an annual content plan or calendar and stick to publishing it, which I also think is one of the hard parts. So why is this so important? And maybe, a couple of best practices to help.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is really important because, like any publisher website would tell you, they, like I love to say, like CNN doesn't decide, that there's nothing going on in the U.S. today. We're only gonna talk about world politics and not the U.S. Like or Fox or whoever you subscribe to. They're publishing every single day on world politics, U.S. politics, technology, business, whatever categories of content publishers cover, they publish on a frequent, consistent, committed basis. So that's one perspective. The other perspective is, and Joe Polizzi really, I think, helped me to understand this, is you want to kind of like make a date with your audience. Like people, they respect consistency. They respect knowing, the comfort of knowing that you're going to land in their inbox, or you're going to publish a new article. At CMI, you guys publish just about every day. We try to publish 3 or 4 times a week. And our audience knows that, and they subscribe for that because they're looking for those daily insights that they may ignore, but they'll tune into it when it's relevant to them. So I think it's important both as a brand and for your audience to publish consistently. But another reason is it's kind of like, if you want to get in shape, you don't decide the day before the marathon that you're going to start training. You pick a 6-month or 1-year timeout and you start to train slowly over time. And it's the persistence, the consistency that really delivers a result. And so it works. And that's, I think, probably the most important point is if you're trying to drive ROI, drive a business goal, deliver pipeline or revenue or sales, publishing consistently works better than any other approach. And so that's, I think, probably the best reason.
Great. We have a question here from Rachel. How do you measure content to leads for your clients?
Yeah. I mean, you can, again, I think if you publish consistently, what you find is, back to reach, engage, convert, and retain, is you start to build an audience, an identifiable, attributable, measurable audience of people that, for us, we always recommend subscriptions. So if people subscribe to the Marketing Insider Group newsletter, I can tell you how many of those people have ultimately downloaded a white paper or reached out and, wanted a sales call with us. So it starts with building an identifiable audience, moving people from unknown to known. Once you know who they are, you can start to measure their activities, downloads, lead forms, event registrations, click to talk to a salesperson, demos, if you're a B2B software company, free trials, all those kinds of things you can measure once you understand who that audience is. And so that's really the best way. We can reach people. We can, identify who they are if they subscribe, or if they're, simply coming inbound to our website from SEO or organic search or social. We can start to see the pathways to conversion from there, and then we can measure the ROI.
Lori wants to look at the data. I believe you were referencing in that last question. So we'll get that for you,
Yep.
Lori. She's content concerned in Chicago because she works with folks who believe less really good content is the best practice. She needs a little help.
There's a really funny quick story. I had a former client who, we don't work with them anymore because they believed that if you look at the data of consumption, shorter content resonates with more people. And so they wanted to create less and even shorter stuff. And I was like, well, if you follow that math, you're, publish a word or a sentence. The problem is you're never going to rank. It's not going to add any value. No one's ever going to read it. And, you might be able to point to millions of people saying, I looked at a word on a page, but it's not going to add any value to the business or to the audience. So yeah, I think you have to be careful with the data, but again, it does really show consistency, frequency drives results.
And then I think this was interesting. Muna wants to know, what do you do when you lack ideas for content, except the repurposing strategy?
Oh yeah, no, I love repurposing. So it's actually where I think it's a great place to start. When I was at SAP, I had money to build a platform, but no money for content. And so the only thing that we could do was repurpose. We did white papers, we repurposed into blog posts. Executive PowerPoints, we repurposed into blog posts. We did interviews with experts, all that kind of stuff. We found bloggers around the company and invited them to contribute for us. After that, though, we looked to the industry and looked at, okay, if we're launching a big data product, we want to launch cloud solutions. What are other people in the industry talking about? What are the needs? What are the keywords that they're searching for? What are the questions that we have the knowledge to answer? Again, Answer the Public can give you that. BuzzSumo is a great tool. You type a keyword in and it'll tell you all the stuff that ranks for those keywords. That's another great tool we love to use. Look at your competition. Look at the publishers in the space. So, Amanda, I don't compete with you at CMI, but I'm inspired by your own blog. And every once in a while, I'm like, you know what? I've never written a blog on that topic, and I'm gonna try to come up with my own angle on that. So, get inspiration from the publishers in your industry, from the leaders. If they're competitors or not in your industry. I never find a problem coming up with new ideas. The easiest way is probably get 5 executives with lots of opinions in a room and do sticky notes and some design thinking. Just ask them to come up with 50 ideas, put them on a wall and sort of categorize them into themes. And there you've got a year's worth of ideas.
Great. We have a lot of great questions that we can't all get to, but Michael can go back and answer them for you. Michael, we only touched on very briefly, this is your session, just very briefly on some things in your session. What else can people expect if they come to Content Marketing World from, I think you're doing a session and a workshop. What else can they expect?
Yeah. So the workshop is, it's one of the things that's always tricky with CMWorld is there's newbies and there's really experts. I've struggled over the years coming up with content that's designed for the right audience. The workshop that I do is really about documenting a content marketing strategy. So it's for folks probably in a company that really need to understand what their strategy should be. And so if you're a 25-year veteran of content marketing and you work at a large company, you probably don't need to come to the workshop. But if you're struggling with the strategy and how to build a year's planned out worth of content, that's a good session for you. The other session is going to be really practical tips as an experienced content marketer that I've learned that I think every content marketer should focus on. And it's, how to find the keywords and identify the ideas, how to make sure your content gets distributed in the right channels, how to measure the return on investment, how to activate your fellow employees to share content on social. Those are some of the tips that we're going to be walking through.
Great. So how can people find you? Besides Content Marketing World.
Yeah, besides coming, please register. You can see the link below. You get $100 off, I think, right? So yeah, marketinginsidergroup.com. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, and on Amazon if you want to check out Mean People Suck, which is my latest book, and the content formula too.
Great. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like you said, there's the code at the bottom. Head over to contentmarketingworld.com. This is brought to you by Content Marketing Institute. So thank you all for joining me for the great comments, great questions. I will see you back here live next Monday as well. And as we leave you all today, I am going to leave you with this little video so you get an idea of what Content Marketing World is all about. Michael's been there, I've been there, and we hope to see all of you there. Thank you again, Michael. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
You won't find a more passionate group of content marketers anywhere else in the world.
This is an event that celebrates all of the how-tos, and you're going to see some of the best and most world-renowned speakers and experts on this topic.
This is where you come to find your people. Join us for Content Marketing World 2022, September 13th through the 16th. We'll see you there.